Hello everyone, welcome to Not Easily Broken Ministry. I am Prophetess Angie Allen. So we are still on series 1, but we're on day 2. When God is silent, but heaven is not. And today's title or subject is Why God Uses Silence. A teacher who stops talking so the student can grow. I want you to imagine a teacher who has explained the lesson over and over. They've written it on the board. They've answered questions. They've demonstrated the process. Then one day, the teacher stopped talking. Not because the lesson ended, but because it's time for the student to practice. Many believers think God's silence means he stopped teaching them. But very often, silence means God is allowing what he already taught to become rooted. So the core truth of day 2, which is today, God does not use silence to confuse his people. He uses silence to form his people. Silence is not God withdrawing love. It is God developing maturity. God uses silence to shift us from dependence to trust. Isaiah 50, verse 10 from Amplified. Who among you fear the Lord and obeys the voice of his servant, yet walk in darkness and has no light? Let him trust in the name of the Lord and rely confidently on his God. This verse describes a person who is God-fearing, obedient, and faithful, yet walking in darkness with no clarity. This tells us something so deep and important. Darkness is not always disobedient. No light does not mean no God. This is like walking at night with headlights that only show a few feet ahead. You don't see the whole road, but you still move forward. Silence trains us to trust God's character when we cannot hear his instructions. God uses silence to expose what we really, truly trusting. Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 2. And you shall remember the whole way the Lord your God has led you these 40 years in the wilderness, that he might humble you by testing you, to know what's in your heart, whether you would keep his commandment or not. God already knows the heart, but silence reveals our heart to us. In silence, we discover what we trust, what we fear, what we expect, what we clinging to. Think about this. When the music stops, you hear what's been playing in your own mind. Silence reveals whether our faith is rooted in God or in outcomes. God uses silence to break emotional dependence. John 20, verse 29. Jesus said to him, because you have seen me, do you now believe? Blessed are those who did not see and yet believe. God loves giving signs. But he will not let us become addicted to reassurance. Silence teaches us to believe. Without signs, without constant confirmation, without emotional reinforcement. Think about this. If someone has to reassure you every step of the way, growth would never happen. Silence means believers from spiritual dependence into spiritual confidence. God uses silence to prepare us for greater responsibility. Galatians chapter 4, verses 1 through 2. As long as the heir is a child and immature, he does not differ from a slave, although he is the owner of everything, but he is under guardians and managers until the date set by the Father. Calling exists before readiness. Promises exist before position. Silence is the season where character is built, discipline is formed, capacity is increased. Think on this. A child may own an inheritance, but they are not trusted to manage it yet. God does not explain everything to people he is preparing to trust. Let me repeat that again. God does not explain everything to people he is preparing to trust. God uses silence to teach us how to wait without resentment. Psalms 37, verse 7. Be still before the Lord. Wait patiently for him and entrust yourself to him. Waiting is not inactivity. Waiting is restrained obedience. In silence, waiting can either soften your heart or harden your spirit. Waiting is sitting with God without demanding movement. If silence produces bitterness, something deeper needing healing. Roots growing underground. When a tree is growing, you don't see the roots, but the roots are the reason the tree survives storms. Silent is where roots grow. And when God speaks again, what has been rooted will stand. Isaiah 40, verse 31. But those who wait for the Lord, who expect, look for, and hope in him, will gain new strength and renew their power. I declare that silence is strengthening you and strengthening me. Silence is forming you and forming me. Silence is not your enemy. You will trust God without constant confirmation. You will remain faithful in the quiet because heaven is still working even now. I pray what you're hearing continue to bring you clarity, give you revelation, encourage you to remain in your silent season and know that something great is coming out of it. As I gave the illustration about a tree, you can't see what's taking place deep within, but it soon will reveal itself in due time. Trust the process and know that you're coming out even stronger. As Jesus Christ loves you, I love you too. Be blessed.